You got a friend in me! Oh my god. Are you seriously? Oh my god, wake up. Come on. Come on, we got an opening night to do.
More like opening sunset hours.
Okay, yeah, I figure that's the best way to do it. Hey guys, what's up? It's BigJackFilms here.
Too long, didn't read, the movie was boring, I fell asleep.
Yeah, so it's me, BigJackFilms. We got Evin Matthews here. He hasn't been around since the Spider-Verse video, actually.
Yep.
I think you should know what, from now on you're coming to the kids' movies. I think that's gonna be a given. I'll take you to see Secret Life of Pets 2.
Not on your life. I refuse to see anything by Illumination.
Oh god, yeah, fuck those guys. If you guys can tell from the shirt, we saw Toy Story 4.
The fourth one.
The fourth one. Close to Toys Encounters of the Fourth Kind.
25 years.
25
almost.
years of fucking Toy Story, and, okay, well, we should talk about it, actually, because, first of all, I should say, I was not wanting to actually see this.
I mean, neither was I. When they actually announced the fourth one, I was like, okay, I won't pay attention. And then you see the trailers, like, okay, it's kind of interesting, but it still doesn't grab me. And then you hear all these reviews, and it's like, oh, it's actually pretty amazing for what it does. Like the most consensual reviews that I heard is like, is it unnecessary? Yeah, but for what it's worth, it's pretty good. So it's like...
Well, I was gonna say, so, like, I wasn't gonna go see this, and then you posted on Facebook that you said, oh, I'm gonna go see Toy Story 4. Go in. I'm like, fuck it, I'll go in. I go see movies anyway for free.
See, the only reason I said I was going to see Toy Story 4 was because there was nothing else playing at the time, and I didn't have enough money to go see the Spider-Man movie.
We could have seen, like, Godzilla again. Or, like, I don't know, Endgame or whatever else was... Oh, fucking, what was it, Aladdin was playing.
No.
Yeah. I don't want to say... Oh, yeah, speaking of which, Will Smith's got another fucking blue character he's playing. He's playing the fucking pigeon. It's Shark Tale 2, the pigeoning.
Oh, no.
But anyway, so I thought, okay, I'll go with them. So we spent a day, we went to the theater, and we got our tickets. But very quickly, the theater we're at, we went to Cineplex. And Cineplex had a certain deal with their popcorn thing, and I just gotta show this off. I figured this review needs some special guests. Hey, no peeking, no peeking.
I already know what it is you're getting.
Yeah, hold up. Where's the... Oh, well, that's one of them. The first one being... They sell these at Cineplex. They're legit. Okay, they're meant to be for popcorn, like you put your popcorn and shit in here, but it's also a stationary piggy bank, and it is like the most accurate version of ham as a toy I have ever seen. It's got the little Toy Story 4 thing, but like, I'm sorry, this thing is so... I was so like, I don't need this, I don't need this, I don't need that, and I was like, fuck, I need this, because... I had a ton of ham figures when I was a kid, but they were always either way too small, and even if they were the film accurate ones, they were made out of fucking porcelain glass shit. This is the first time a ham is plastic. So if you're at Cineplex, if you're a Toy Story collector, pick this shit up. It's amazing. I fucking love this, but he's not the only one here.
Don't actually buy it. Save your money.
No. This thing's worth it.
No, it's not.
He's here. I'm just gonna back up. Put all the toys are going on here. Oh, well, fucking.
No.
All right. Yeah, John Rassenberger, you've been in every Pixar film and you've been in every Miyazaki movie. You're going in the back. All right. But then, okay.
Disrespect.
Something I just gotta kind of show you here. So these are two things I've had since I was a kid. First of all, look at Buzz. Okay, this is the most film accurate Buzz. Okay, I'll just show you. Look at this.
To infinity and beyond. This is an intergalactic emergency.
Best part. Come on, that's actually kind of cool. Like, come on, you gotta admit, this is kind of cool. This is awesome. This is from the Toy Story collection line. And actually, what's cool, he can come alive.
Buzz Lightyear, to the rescue. I am Buzz Lightyear, Space Ranger.
I know we just saw this movie, but how old are you, and you still have this? I rest my case.
Anyway, so yeah, I've had that, and then fuck it, I'm bringing this guy out too.
What was that? Not to worry, a Space Ranger fears nothing.
I'm sorry, but you can fear nothing in the back.
Oh, okay, hold up. Okay, so as you guys can tell, I'm a hardcore fan of this shit.
What aren't you a hardcore fan of? That is tied to nostalgia.
But I'm not?
Yeah.
Not a fan of Doctor Who.
That's...
Yeah, there. Ha-ha! Touche! Unfortunately, his pull string doesn't work. Just like this movie. Spoilers. Okay, so full disclosure.
Are we spoiling this, or...
Oh, we're spoiling this. So it's been out for a week.
Okay, sounds good.
So full disclosure. I've been a fan of Toy Story since I was 4. I've seen all of them actually in theaters. Every single one of them since the first one came out in 95. It was one of my first big movie experiences. Like, what I love about Toy Story, if you have the VHS, it is childhood in a clamshell VHS. I love the first one. I adore it. I even love the behind-the-scenes making of it. I was a hardcore Toy Story fan for decades. I still am. I had all the toys. I even wanted at some point, I had every toy from this movie. And I even wanted to make a replica of Andy's room. Make my own room Andy's, just because I wanted a replica. And all that shit. So I had all the toys. I had the Bo Peep figure. I had Mr. Potato. I had all that shit. But yeah, it's childhood for me. The Super Nintendo game sucks. I finally played it. It was terrible. I even had, like, the animated storybook CD-ROM game on, like, Windows 95.
Oh my.
And they're actually really fun because they use the same Pixar graphics. So I'm a big Toy Story fan. I got this fucking shirt, for God's sakes. Toy Story 2. I loved it when it came out. I really enjoyed it. I watched it again, and it does have that direct-to-video sequel vibe to it. It's still a well-quality made film. I love the whole bit with Zurg being the whole spoofing Empire Strikes Back. But I love that one. Great, and honestly, that song by fucking, what's her name, Sarah McLachlan.
Yes.
That's a hit to the balls. Like, literally, everything she writes is just me with a dog. Here, just imagine this. Just like, imagine if Sarah McLachlan did an anti-toy abuse commercial. Hi, I'm Sarah McLachlan, and I'm about to ruin your entire fucking day. That's that song in a nutshell. So I like Toy Story 2. Toy Story 3 was a wait and a half. I remember hearing articles about it. I remember original plot was going to be Buzz was recalled, and then they go to Taiwan and all that shit. And actually, that plot ended up being kind of the plot to Lilo and Stitch, Stitch Has a Glitch. Mm-hmm. Kind of the same thing. But I saw that, and I saw that in theaters, and I cried like a bitch. That's one of the rare few occasions where a movie can make me cry. Toy Story 3 was a major kick to the balls for me. It's up there with, like, Return of the King, and, trying to think what other movie made me cry. Like, My Dog Skip and movies like that. I'm a big fan. Like, that really made me cry. And I thought not only was it, I cried for most, like, one, great ending, but also a good closing to my childhood. Really great closing to that part of my life. So then now it's a fourth one, and I'm like, no, you're gonna ruin it. You ruined it. This movie was nominated. The third one was nominated for Best Picture. How do you top that? So I really didn't have no interest. But before we do, your opinion on the first 3.
Okay, so what I actually did yesterday before going to see this, I rewatched all of them. 1, 2, 3, all back to back. I will say from my experiences, I was not a big fan of the Toy Stories even as a young one. Like, I would watch them over and over, and I couldn't really get it. Going back into this was actually a breath of fresh air for me, because while the effects of the first are dated, you kind of do appreciate that this is in fact one of the first ever computer animated movies to come out, and it pays off. There's actually a lot of adult jokes that I never even noticed.
You should have seen the original, what's called the Jeffrey Katzenberg cut. Because Katzenberg, asshole he was, I watch a lot of Lindsay Ellis's videos, and yeah, Jeffrey Katzenberg, when he was running Disney, he was a douchebag. Like, he was a real fucking douche. But there was apparently a larger cut where, like, Woody was a bigger asshole. Like, he wanted to basically break Buzz.
I mean, he almost succeeded in the first one anyway.
Yeah, so for me it was like, I remember that was one of the movie I saw in theaters when I was up at my old cottage. I watched on VHS countless times, so yeah, and I'll agree, yeah, like the first one you're just like, ooh, the graphics look terrible. Like,
they're not terrible, but
it's the people. The people look like they jumped off the set of Reboot.
Yeah, it's mostly the people.
Yeah, like you expect fucking what? Like if Andy's dad was here, he'd be like, Blitz, Reboot. Literally, like that's how bad the graphics are. Toy Story 2 for you.
I know it's the most popular and like people call it's the favorite, it's the best and all that. I think it in that regards it is. It's better than the first in terms of direction to goes. Like for the first movie, it's mostly about Buzz and Woody's relationship. For the second movie and like through the most of throughout, it's about Woody.
It's mostly about Woody for the other sequels.
Yeah, figuring out his past, where he belongs, and here's the thing that I really like with the sequels that I kind of interpret it. One will always be the best because of what it stood, while the three sequels that came after that kind of act as their own continuing story. The second movie acts as the before Andy is going to grow up, because it's the inevitability that Andy will grow up and will stop playing, because that's just how things. And it's the anticipation that it's the main plot point once Woody has to choose, will he go with his friends who spent all the movie rescuing them, or stay with Jesse and the rest of the Roundup gang.
Captured by Wayne Knight, Newman, or fucking Dennis Nedry from Jurassic Park.
Yeah, basically that. I'll go into more details when we actually talk about characters.
I just want to point out one thing about Toy Story 2. Have you ever noticed that Andy, this is like takes place in what, 1999? You ever notice he has a Super Nintendo? Like he plays the Buzz Lightyear game on a Super Nintendo?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, so what the fucking strategy guy, was that like a fucking Nintendo Power magazine?
I mean, in the third one, he switches from a Nintendo to a Wii.
Oh, I never noticed the Wii.
Yeah, no.
Never noticed the Wii in the third one.
If you look very closely in the scene where they're trying to discuss what they're going to do since their plan failed, you will notice a Wii.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, because that's weird, because like I would have been like, bro, don't throw out your Super Nintendo. That's like the best console ever made. So you like the second one? I
do like the second one.
Third one.
Okay, the third one.
Oh, fucking emotions.
The third one was hot. It's the darkest in the chapters, in my opinion, and it does go like with, okay, Andy's going to college now. This is the day we've been prepared for, and no one was really prepared.
It's the Schindler's List of Pixar movies.
I wouldn't really go that
Okay,
far.
not that. It's more like, you know what I had a real vibe to was The Brave Little Toaster. That was the vibe the third one had for me. It had a very Brave Little Toaster vibe. The first one.
Yeah, now that you think about it, the two are very similar.
Well, it's also because like half the people who worked on in Pixar before they became Pixar worked on Brave Little Toaster. A lot of like John Lasseter and all those guys, they all worked on Brave Little Toaster. So you can see they kind of went from utensils as toys to toys.
Right.
But yeah, I love the third one. I thought, like, it was such a good movie. It was also a wonderful tribute to, like, prison escape movies, like The Great Escape and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Had that real vibe, like Prison Break, but with toys. Except it didn't have a shitty ending. So now we have Toy Story 4, and...
That's not done.
Okay, go ahead, continue.
Because, like I was saying, we have the second one that acts as the inevitable that will happen. That Andy will grow up and leave his toys behind. And then we have the third one, which talks about that. And going through each of these movies, I realized that each of them get to be on their standalone. Like they begin and end as if it's going to be the only movie in the series. And I kind of like the ambiguity of that, because even though the original didn't really need all these spin-offs, the fact that they did, and that each one is their own take and each one is just as good, if not good on their own, is actually pretty fantastic when you think about it. When now we come to the fourth one, which is the aftermath of when the toys are brought to Bonnie.
And let me put it like this. I was pleasantly surprised.
I had no expectations. I just figured there could be no wrong, because even if you don't like that there's more coming out of it, the movies themselves are not going to be bad.
Yeah, they're not going to be terrible. I mean, like, I even like the spin-off stuff. Like, I remember the fucking Toy Story treats that used to be on Disney, which were, like, these little blocks of little skits they did. I remember I think there were a couple of shorts. But, yeah, this one, the way I can describe this, it goes back to an old Broadway formula. And if you look in, like, let me put it like this. This is, like, the Son of Kong of Toy Story movies. And I mean that because in the filmmakers, when they made Son of Kong directly after the first one, they followed the Broadway formula. If you can't make it bigger, make it funnier. This movie is not as big and grand scale as Toy Story 3.
Which I kind of like.
But it is easily the funniest film in the franchise.
Like, you will enjoy the jokes you get, whether you're a adult or kid, whatever. Like, the jokes here are pretty good.
Yeah, like, and what I also love about this one is that it kind of goes back to the tone and feel of the first film.
It really does.
And it's not only that, it also feels like a loving tribute to the original trilogy because, like, you not only have little bits that kind of resemble the first one, like, you have, like, the certain jokes that are in it. You have, whatchamacallit, you have, like, the animal character trying to chase them around. You have the scene where, like, there's this little baby carriage in this dark antique mall and Woody's there and it's kind of creepy. It's kind of like when the baby face spider thing kind of comes out at Woody and it's like really freaky. But it had a real vibe to the first one, which I really enjoyed. And in terms of the rest of the trilogy, there's a lot of music cues from the first three films that are kind of all spliced into this one film. They have and another thing, and this is something I felt missed from the third one. This one has a few songs. Because you ever notice how Toy Story 3 doesn't have jack shit for songs even in the middle of the movie?
Yeah, but that kind of sets a tone where it says, like, you got a friend in me, and we then get to the line where I think it's called, no matter what, my friendship never die. It cuts off immediately after that point.
And you're just like, ouch.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. So it had that feel to it, and it also just kind of, because like there's a new song that Randy Newman wrote.
Two new songs,
and I guarantee those are gonna go for Oscars for best original song. Because I actually like what was the one that was like where Woody's trying to keep Forky out of stuff. It's like you will not be replaced. I only know 5 chords because I'm Randy Newman, who sounds like he has Down syndrome. Everybody's made that joke, okay? That Randy Newman sounds like a person.
Just because everyone makes that joke doesn't mean it's less offensive to the
True,
writer.
true. Just the big subtitle apologies to Tanzer people ever. Anyway, so yeah, like it felt like the first one again, and I really enjoyed that because I love the first one's just full nostalgia overload.
Okay, so are we going to go into detail of the full movie?
We're gonna go into detail. So the movie opens with RC and fucking, like, it looks like he's about to get swept away.
Yeah, the moment the Pixar logo ends, it's heavy rain throughout the rest, and the toys are trying to make sure no one gets left behind. They go into Molly's room, and then they notice that RC is being forced down the sewer pipe because like the sewerage and the rain is just too strong, and he's going near like the sewers.
And I'm just like, fuck no, RC, is this what happened? Or did he get swept away and they felt guilty that he died? Well, I think he even died anyway because even in all that rain, he's fucking damaged. Like, these circuits are out, he's done. So I wouldn't be surprised if after a certain character goes out first, that he goes out next. That RC was just done. And you notice in that montage, you don't see him anywhere when Andy's a kid.
No.
So RC's dead. He just dies in the beginning. It would have been funnier if next show was fucking Wheezy.
Nah.
Oh, fucking Wheezy was with them. But yeah, so there's that, and they save RC, but Bo Peep now gets the shit end of the stick, and man, does it hit you in the feels.
Yeah, the very first scene is seeing what actually does happen to Bo Peep, that she didn't come to the story, Toy Story 3. I will say this. This is the best looking of the series. Like, the cinematography was very phenomenal. The close-ups, the bokeh, the lighting setup, the schemes. I love them.
The animation it just shows how far we've come in computer technology.
Exactly.
You go back and watch the first one, you're just like, oh, this looks like a Nintendo 64 graphics on the people. But yeah, the people look great here. But yeah, like, it really kicks you in the balls right the fuck away. And it was something I really appreciate that they showed what happened to Bo Peep, because that was one of my biggest complaints about the third one.
I like how she was silently urging him to come with her, and he was almost going to if Andy had not stepped out.
If Andy had not stepped out, and on top of that, it's like, because I remember when the third one came out, I remember they bring up that scene where it's like, oh, we've lost friends along the way, Wheezy and Etch and Bo Peep, and you're just like, ooh, and you're thinking, did she like fall and break and die and smash into a billion pieces?
No, she was just carried away into another owner for safety because Molly didn't want her lamp.
Yeah, and I did like how there's a lot of nods, Easter eggs to other toys. So you got like the Barbies are here. You've got the Barrel of Monkeys trying to help out, which was cool. I like those guys. You know, it's like, it's too short. We need more monkeys. There aren't any more. That's the whole barrel. So yeah, that's how it opens, and then you get, like, after that whole, oh, Bo Peep, no, then you just got, you God, the fridge. It'd be like, wow, this is like fucking Bambi after his mom gets shot. Cut to pretty birds.
And even when we go to like the actual present day, it's still not pretty because we learn that Bonnie basically didn't take Andy's promise to take care of Woody because Woody's been played less and less as the day goes on.
I didn't notice that.
Yeah, remember in the end where Andy was very hesitant to give Woody away to Bonnie, but he goes and telling her to take care of him, especially care of him. Bonnie, because she's young, doesn't really keep that promise.
Bonnie, you little bitch!
She's 5.
I don't care! Fuck kids! You know, you don't take care of your toys, fuck you!
It's not that she doesn't take care of his choice, it's that she's giving separate attention to all different things. And just bound to toys were going to be neglected.
To be fair, I did like how she actually took Jessie and made her a sheriff. Like, one of the things I do like about this, too, like, this is kind of, we're now in an age of diversity.
You know what even
and
makes
stuff.
it even more heartwarming despite the situation? How much Woody has matured. Because if he was still the jealous, stick in the ass cowboy because Buzz Lightyear just came in with all his new featurettes that drawn Andy away, if he was still that he would have had so many problems and felt so bitter towards not only Bonnie but the rest of his friends. So to show that he's cool with it as long as he can look out for the child that currently owns him is very touchwarming.
Yeah, and the thing is, like, we obviously cinema, we now live in a world with diversity, so I do like the fact that they made Jessie the sheriff for a little bit. You know, that was cute.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was one of the things I really actually was kind of laughing at. There's a toy in the closet. It comes out so anyway. There's a toy in the closet, and he's this elephant, and I recognize his voice. I'm like, is that Mel Brooks? It is. I'm like, why didn't you use more of him? I fucking love Mel Brooks. Like, fucking Spaceballs and shit. Oh my god. Like, I want Mel Brooks to make another movie so bad. I know he's like 90-something. But goddamn, make one more spoof. Make Spaceballs 2 The Search for More Money before you croak, Mel.
Oh, you.
Although I did like Robots. Robots is a good movie.
I remember Robots.
Robots is great. Go watch it again. It's a good movie. Robin Williams is hilarious. Anyway, so, yeah, Mel Brooks is in this, which is funny. I don't know how they got him. So, basically, Woody, or Bonnie, it actually starts with Bonnie going first day to kindergarten.
Yeah.
Right? Kindergarten, whatchamacallit, I can't remember. But she can't bring a toy. She's kind of depressed and everything. That's another thing. She's really kind of always sad in this movie.
Well, that's the thing. Like, I think it might be because she has some sort of social anxiety disorder.
I might think she might be on the spectrum.
Maybe, yeah.
Pixar, can you confirm that, please? I think it actually is a good representation.
It is. Like,
And
I do feel really sad that she's very antisocial, doesn't know how to make friends, and the friends that she does, when she does make that little attempt, it doesn't really go through.
Yeah, and the other thing is, too, is, like, I was always thinking, because, like, I remember seeing previews of this, it was kind of felt like the same thing. But I always wondered if, like, Bonnie's always sad, we just cut to the inside of her head, and it's the characters from Inside Out. Create a cinematic universe. Well, it was confirmed that, like, what,
You
Boo?
and your fucking crossovers, I swear to God.
It was confirmed that Boo was in, like, one of her classes, I think, in Bonnie's class, and you say there was an article.
Yeah. If you actually pay attention, Boo is a character in her classroom, and she does it also. I believe she appears in the carnival too somewhere.
It's 2019, and that movie came out 20 years ago. She's still fucking 4. Does that mean Monsters, Inc. takes place in 2019?
Nah.
That'd be great. So, anyway, So, yeah, like, fucking Bonnie goes to kindergarten, Woody sneaks out with her, which is nice. You know, he's really looking after her.
Yeah.
And then Bonnie plays God.
We get to Sporky.
Forky.
Forky.
Are you
He's a spork.
Are you forking kidding me? So, she basically creates Forky, and now I want to make a Forky, actually. And essentially it comes to life. They kind of do sort of explain the whole thing of how toys come to life in this world.
Kind of, not really, but you kind of get the idea that toys get their life when the kid imagines them when they play. So I'm guessing that's how Forky kind of becomes a toy, quote unquote.
It also kind of explains the mythology of, like, Brave Little Toaster as well, because the kid's just playing with his utensils and they become toys.
That's true.
So they share the same universe, I guess. Anyway, so yeah, Forky suddenly comes alive, and that's another thing. This movie has a lot of kind of semi-kind of horror aspects, little jump scares and stuff.
To be fair, all of the Toy Stories have like horror effects. I think the horror effects in this are a little toned down though.
A little toned down, but there's a couple of jump scares, like, which is like, save that shit for Paranormal Activity. But literally, like, Forky comes alive, and I turned to Evin, and I'm like, I literally quote John, "This is what happens when you try to play God!" Yeah, we were literally like, oh, she's played God. You just cut to Jeff Goldblum, it's like, life, finds a way. So, Forky's here, and he has the mind of, I hate to say this.
If you were a fan of self-deprecative humor, where you basically go, "Oh, I'm trash," that's Forky in a nutshell.
Yeah, and I'm like that. And honestly, I was really scared Forky was gonna be this Jar Jar annoying.
It was the Olaf situation where you think he's gonna be annoying, but he's kind of tender and heartwarming.
And this is the second Disney character that's a small little white thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think Disney has a thing with that.
But no, Forky was hilarious.
Forky was hilarious. He was really fun. I think he actually stole the show. So Forky, they decide to go on a road trip, in an RV. And Forky falls out of the truck. And actually, during that time, again, we get a Randy Newman song, which is nice. Which I really missed from the last.
It's basically a montage of Forky trying to get into his beloved trash pail through, like, all the locations.
It's all trash. It's like, if he was voiced by John Goodman, he'd just be saying, "I make garbage!" So, Forky gets lost, and Woody goes after him, and meets them at the RV camp.
Well, no. We gotta take a soak, because he's also explaining to Forky why being a toy to a kid is so important.
And that's the thing I like, too, is that they kind of do, like, a little montage recap of the last three. Like, they talk about how...
I wouldn't call it a montage. I would just call it a recap, because that's just what he's doing. He's just explaining all the events from, like, 1 through 3.
Yeah, it's like, cut to CinemaSins, previously on Toy Story. Ding! So, like, yeah, fucking, and I love that whole bit where he's like... Where Forky's like, so this guy, Buzz just came around and was just starting to be an asshole? He's like, yep.
It has a very powerful moment. Like, you gotta do this. You have to do this for Andy. Forky's like, who's Andy?
And you're just like, ooh. That's the thing, there's a lot of moments in this movie where you go, like, you have that, like, sort of almost black people react, where it's like, oh, shit. You're like, oh, no, he did. Yeah, you have a lot of those, like, kind of like, ooh, or kind of like, ouch moments. Where it's like, ooh.
The armor-piercing question. There's a lot of those in this movie that are used very effectively.
There's very effectively, and you just want to be like Vegeta. Oh no, do not be that guy right now. Oh, I am going to be that guy right now. And it hits you in the balls. I would say, too, you'd think this movie would probably be, like, really relying on the nostalgia of the previous films, but it's used appropriately.
Yeah.
That they keep referencing. It's like, hey, remember this shit? It's like, but it's still used appropriately. So, they get to the RV park, and Jesus Christ, it is hot as hell. I'm gonna open the door.
Why not can you turn the thing on? So that...
I don't have the keys.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, no worries.
Yeah, look at the windows right now. We're fogging it up.
Yeah, look at this. It's
so fucking hot.
It's hot here in Canada. So, they get to this, they find this antique store, which is, I think, really ironically funny because they're in an antique store, and yet they're toys that are like 20 to 30 years old, and they're like antiques in themselves.
Yeah, here's the thing that I found a little bit iffy because, now that Woody has convinced Forky to go to Bonnie, he himself sort of pulls back because he notices that the lamp of Bo Peep is kind of in the store, so then they'll go checking. They're like, well, why don't you just give Forky to Bonnie before then?
That is a bit of a plot hole because it kind of contradicts everything that happens in the like kind of butterfly effects the rest of the movie. If you know she's there, take Forky back to Bonnie and then go back and see if Bo Peep's there. That would have actually saved you a lot of fucking trouble.
Yeah, but at the same time, you probably would have been kidnapped. It would have been a struggle to try and get out, and the rest of his gang would have been trying to figure out what's going on.
But then the weird part is that Forky almost becomes leverage for the bad guys, which
we'll get to the quote unquote antagonists.
Villains.
I want to actually talk about the previous antagonists because do they do Gabby Gabby right in this movie?
Yeah, they do Gabby Gabby right. So like Sid in the first one, he's all right. He's kind of funny. The graphics look terrible, but I can kind of see.
I never knew this until I actually looked up and did a double take. Sid is actually the garbage man in Toy Story 3.
Wouldn't it have been funny if he was the guy running the fucking little kind of booth with the toys and stuff?
Yeah, no, I had to do a double take, but if you look closely to like his shirt, it has the skull, and it's like, oh my god, that's Sid. He's actually making good dialogue.
Trash.
No, but he's actually making good money because trash men make a lot of money going through all the shit.
I guess that's how he deals with therapy. Can you imagine a whole movie where it's like he goes to Toy Story 5, Sid goes to therapy?
Nah.
They were real. They were real. He's just like in a mental institution. Anyway, so yeah, it just would have saved them time. So like Sid is a great. I really like him. I like Scud though. The dog?
Yeah.
Really? I remember the little Happy Meal toy where you wind him up and he pulls a guy. Rah, 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 rah. Then there's Prospector.
I would say the weakest of the villains.
Yeah, he just comes.
Like, I mean, going back, it's not like a comparison to Lotso, who we'll talk about in a moment, but, like, I kind of get his motivations, though. He was the unpopular of the Roundup kids. He was always stuck in his box because nobody wanted to play with him, so here's an opportunity where he can just be immortalized by just staying in a box in a museum in Tokyo, and you can kind of understand that, but at the same time, you don't buy the personality.
Well, on top of that, too, he was actually, I like to think he was pretty much Disney's first surprise villain, because that's something I was getting really sick of with animated films, is the surprise bad guy. Like, you think he's nice, it's like, surprise, I'm the bad guy the whole time. But yeah, Prospect. But then you also gotta talk about Al. I like Al. Al's funny.
Al's pathetic.
Al's hilarious.
Al is pathetic.
Al is Bradley in like 20 years.
Bradley is not that pathetic.
Okay, yeah, true. But yeah, I love Al, and I also love how in that movie, fucking Jerry makes a cameo from Jerry's Game. I love that old guy. That's my favorite Pixar short.
Yeah.
So, yeah, there's that, and now
Lotso. Oh boy.
It's a surprise villain, but at the same time,
Is it really though? You kind of suspect something's gone off, and then Lotso is basically just there to confirm it. And then throughout the entire movie, I will say, even though he has like a really deep and does represent the result of what happens when you're abandoned or when a child grows up to you, but it's his actions that take it the wrong way that makes him so compelling.
He gets power hungry.
Yeah.
He gets literal power hungry. Like, this is the equivalent of a dictator.
Kind of going back on it's kind of funny to think about it when he's trying to push like the gang off into the trash chute. He's like, "We're all trash here. That's what toys are meant to be, trash." And then we have Forky. He's like, "Yes, I am trash."
I never noticed that until now. The thing is too with like Lotso too. I remember like seeing that in the theater, and you think when he gets dumped in the trash, that's it. But then when Woody comes in and his arm comes out, it's like, this is like a horror movie. Now he's like Jason. He comes out like, ah! Right? Like, then it becomes a horror movie.
No, the best moment that makes him so diabolical is when they give him this and he just smiles like, "Where's your kid now?"
And I'm like, Dick. You are now what, like, yeah.
Now, people may say his grievances or what he's come up with of just being tied into a truck is not really, like, fitting for all
He should have just burned alive in that incinerator.
He actually does, if you think about it. Like, he's going to be stuck in the truck for a while, and all the high-speed voltage is really... eventually is going to tear into, like, his stuff.
It's like that video of that Elmo doll that somebody pinned to a tree and put, like, a jet fighter... engine in front of it, and it just disintegrated instantly.
Exactly.
I was like, did you notice how, like, there's that little frog that's next to Lotso in the truck, and that's a frog that ends up on, like, one of the carnival prizes?
Oh, really?
Yeah, those little frogs at the end.
Oh.
Yeah, same product. So, Lotso's great. So now we have Gabby, and surprisingly...
she's not an antagonist.
She's not the surprise villain you think she's gonna be.
Like, there is no malevolence or maliciousness. Okay. I will say this, though, the way, like, her main goal with her and her dummies is that she has a broken voice box. Anytime she posts a string, like, her voice is distorted and all that. And then she noticed that Woody is manufactured with a voice box himself, and her entire goal is to get that. Now, it actually starts out pretty creepy because there are some very suggestive vibes, like, she's asking how Oli was made, if they had a voice box. She's being very picky, and then the very end of it that Woody's like, "Oh, I gotta get out of here," is when she's like, "You know, I always wanted that very special thing inside of you, inside of me.
I need you inside me." And I'm literally like, why don't you have a seat right over here, Gabby? Have a seat. Literally wants his heart. Wants to rip his heart out and put it into herself.
I don't know. I think it's a very strange yet compelling take on, like, female on male rape, essentially.
Yeah, and the thing is too that, you know what, Gabby...
It comes out of nowhere, and it's like, I
I need an adult.
I would like representation of this because it's really such a touchy subject, but this is a kid's film.
Yeah, it's like...
We don't want to tell kids
It's
about
like,
this.
I need an adult toy. I am an adult toy. It's like, ah!
But outside of that, she is such a compelling character, even compared to like all the other antagonists, quote unquote. She's never malicious. Like, even when she holds Forky captive just so Woody can come back.
She shows compassion.
She fixes him up, makes sure that he's all straightened out. They actually play games together. She reads him a story and explains why she wants a voice back so bad. It's because Harmony, she wants to be noticed by the kid that's coming in the store, Harmony.
And did you notice that the kid looks exactly like the girl in the book?
Yeah.
So it's almost like I found her reincarnation.
Mm-hmm.
All the planets are lined together. The thing is, too, you know what Gabby really reminded me of? She reminded me of Baby Doll from Batman the Animated Series.
Yeah?
Did you, like, I kept expecting at the end when she gets, like thrown out and everything, cut to Batman just holding her. It's like, I didn't mean to. That's one of my favorite episodes, by the way, of Batman the Animated Series. So it reminded me a lot of that.
Yeah.
So it's like she comes off almost like a DC villain, like a proper DC villain.
Kind of.
So she's really the first Pixar villain that I can think of that you have real interest and sympathy for.
The best villains are the ones that aren't villains at all, in my opinion.
They have tragic backstories.
Yeah.
I love damaged characters. So
Now, when it comes to dark elements, outside of that, the only thing you're going to be scared about is the dummies.
Slappy from Goosebumps. It's freaking Slappy. But I also, again, there's irony there in that scene because Woody was originally supposed to be a ventriloquist dummy.
Yeah.
And ended up being like a cowboy. So there's kind of an irony. If you watch the original Pixar test from the first movie, which are really creepy, because Woody was supposed to be a cowboy ventriloquist dummy, and Buzz Lightyear was originally called Lunar Larry and Tempest from Morph.
Yeah.
And he was a little tiny little action figure.
Right.
And there's a test where, like, Woody is, like, you know, tosses him over, and it's really creepy. Like, again, it's early animation from, like, 1990, but it's still, like, pretty terrifying to look at. But, it's just, I just find that's kind of funny they finally used dummies in this. My only thing that would have been cool is if they were voiced by Jeff Dunham. That would have been actually pretty funny.
I don't know.
You just make Toy Story 5, get Jeff Dunham
they're
in there.
creepy enough just on the faces and the little noises they do. I don't think they need to be full blown.
They reminded me a lot of Slappy from Goosebumps. I'm surprised R.L. Stine isn't suing Pixar for likeness.
I also get vibes from the doll from Dead Silence.
Oh, God. That or Poltergeist.
Yeah.
Oh, dear.
Anyway.
It would have been funnier if they were clowns. So they get out, and, like, Forky's held hostage, and we come across Bo Peep, who is pretty much like Mad Max.
I love the reunition, though. It's like, so they get lost into, like, the circus because Woody actually cleverly deploys his voice box just to get the attention of a child just so he can get away from the dummies.
They're really clever with what the toys can do. Like, I love the bit where, like, his head gets swished, he's just like, and he pops it back out.
Yeah.
That's clever. I like that. Like, little bits there.
So they get into Carnival, and that's when he's reunited with Bo Peep because the child is playing with them. And then when the child drops them, they immediately rush away, and it's just so happy to see them reunite after all these years.
And this is something like you brought up too after we saw the movie, was the fact that in the first film she's very much pretty much a sex doll for Woody.
Her character is very flat in that she was just an object of Woody's affection.
Her fanny just walking by. I'm just a couple of blocks away.
What do you say? What do you say? I get someone else to watch the flock for me?
Oh yeah. Oh, and that's another thing too. I feel like this movie really kind of knew about all the memes that have been made about the franchise. Like, I don't know if the Pixar crew saw fucking the classic YouTube poop, Toys Gone Wild. There's a bit of that in there. Like, I know even before this movie came out, I saw the Unusual Suspects review of the first one, and honestly, like, it's the funniest review I've seen of that movie, and guys, go check that out. He's really funny. I would recommend his review. Yeah. But, yeah, I really like how they made Bo Peep a three-dimensional character. Like, they actually gave her depth. I love the whole thing with her arm pretty much being snapped off, and she's got a Band-Aid or, like, a tape around it.
Yeah, and she's pretty cool about it. Like,
She looks a little hotter, actually.
I believe it's all in the hips.
It's all in the hips. It's the thick thigh. Thick thighs save lives, people. So,
I mean, if you're into toys, then...
yeah. And even the sheep, they had the sheep. I will admit, like, I wish they stuck to kind of the design of the first one, of the first sheep, because they do look they look like more like they look less like the Pixar sheep and more like the sheep were designed by Aardman. Like the guy, like they look like they stepped off the set of Wallace and Gromit, right? Like I keep expecting, what is it, fucking Gromit to show up like, Gromit, get the sheep off me cheese. So they come across Bo Peep, and Bo Peep has this really cool cut, the skunk mobile. And is it me or do I feel like the skunk mobile was made out of parts of RC?
Nah.
RC just got scrapped. I actually thought underneath that skunk it was gonna be RC.
Nah.
Which would have been nice, actually. So there's that, and another thing they bring up for the first movie, Combat Carls are in this.
Yeah, like, they actually made Combat Carl into an actual character.
Yeah, it's like, because, like, I guess it was because they couldn't get the rights to G.I. Joe.
Yeah.
Which makes sense, and actually Buzz Lightyear was based on G.I. Joe.
Speaking of Buzz...
Oh... This is one of the weaker aspects of the film because...
Okay, it's clever in what they're doing it because while they were on the road trip, and Buzz is asking, oh, hey, you want to take a break? He's like, no, if I didn't do this, the voice in my head would not be. So what Buzz is, because he's not aware of a conscience for some reason, is that, oh, he means like the back string that does the little voice. So throughout the entire movie, he's constantly pressing his voice just to give him a sense of what to do. It's only funny for about like a few minutes, and then you kind of get very bored out of it. And
I thought it was clever. I thought it was funny.
But at the same time, Buzz is a lot dumber in this film.
Yeah, that's my only gripe with this film, because here's the thing with the first three. Who are the two core characters? It's Buzz and Woody. They're like the buddies. They're the dynamic duo of the series. And I feel like in this one especially, Buzz is put to the side. Like, he has some great moments. Like, he's still funny. It's still Tim Allen and probably my favorite role, because I don't like him in anything else. I didn't like the Santa Claus, hated Zoom, and I didn't even watch Home Improvement. Yeah, or the fucking Super Nintendo game where he's fighting dinosaurs. Yeah, that's a thing. They made a Home Improvement Super Nintendo game where he fights dinosaurs. Look up the JonTron review.
I don't want to.
But yeah, it's like... So Buzz is the only kind of real minor issue, as well as the other toys. The other toys are kind of pushed aside, and I can understand because think about it. If they make a fifth one, how are you going to make a fifth one? Half the cast is fucking dead. Half the cast is dead. Jim Varney's gone. Don Rickles is gone. God knows how long Wallace Shawn is going to be around. Jim Varney's gone. You know, like, how long are they going to keep this up if they make a fifth one?
I don't think they'll make a fifth one.
I think they might.
No, I heard apparently from a report that Tom Hanks and Tim Allen, they cried after seeing like the. We'll get to that.
We'll get to that.
But I'm pretty sure they're done. Like, they won't come back for their voices.
Unless Disney pays them like $1 gajillion.
I doubt it.
Here's your retirement fund.
I doubt it.
But yeah, so the whole thing is like, yeah, Tom Hanks make Forrest Gump 2. I'd watch that. So no, they actually did make a sequel. It's called Philadelphia.
Whatever.
Anyway, so so basically, yeah, Buzz and the other toys are kind of brushed aside. Don Rickles doesn't even get a line because he passed away before he could record his line. So what they did, they had this ingenious thing where they took old recordings archives from when they first shot the movie and they put them into this one.
That shows the dedication that like with Slinky, like his voice actor died after 3, like after two, so they got into that. But that just shows that you can't replace the voice of Mr. Potato Head. He is Mr. Potato Head. You can't get anyone else to do his voice.
Exactly. I can't even think of who else I could get for that. And the same thing with Wallace Shawn. Wallace Shawn, aside from Princess Bride, inconceivable, he is always Rex to me. You can't really do that again, right? So, but yeah, like, I feel like a lot of the toys from the previous films who had such an impact, even the aliens, where the fuck are the aliens in this movie?
That's actually a good thing. What did happen to the LGMs? Yeah,
like, I think they might have stayed at Bonnie's house. Because I don't think they're even in the rest of the movie. They might have stayed at Bonnie's house.
Yeah, there was actually no...
they were there. They were just kind of in the background.
Yeah, there was no even mention of the cloud.
Oh, let's do it together. 1, 2, 3.
Anyways.
That's like that. I remember the teaser trailer for Toy Story 2.
I mean, I guess that's fine because the little LGMs can be very annoying, especially when like the second one where they're just constantly on Potato Head. We have saved our lives. We are eternally grateful.
Will you just leave me alone? Even like the Buzz Lightyear movie where they're like, we are one. We are eternal.
Yeah.
It's like, what's this thing? An arm. Told ya. But yeah, like the aliens aren't even in this. But yeah, so basically, you know, Bo Peep and them have to go save Forky. There's all the stuff that happens, you know, little adventures and gimmicks and funny shit. Which, again, this movie is super fucking funny. The two that actually stole the show for me were the two plushies, the Easter Bunny and the Duck.
Ducky and Bunny.
Ducky and Bunny, because they were voiced by these two popular comedians. I can't remember who they are.
They are Michael Keegan P. and Jordan Peele. They are Key and Peele, and I hate you for forgetting their names.
I'm sorry, I don't really watch them. Like, I know Penn and Teller.
Out of this car right now. Get out.
Okay.
Out.
Okay.
Out!
Okay. So anyway, so they steal the show. They're hilarious. I love the one scene, like, we were cracking up at this. They play this joke like 4 times. They have this idea where they just go up to this old lady and they just straight up murder her.
Yeah, they don't say dormant from like choice, so they just jump on her, and then the show it just cuts back to them making like noises, and the other toys be like, yeah, we're not doing that.
Yeah, they're not doing that, cause like, yeah, that's the thing too, cause it's like, this isn't fucking Child's Play. This isn't fucking Chucky, or you know, like, or this isn't like, I don't know what. There's another. Isn't there another killer toy movie like Puppet Master? Or Small Soldiers. This isn't Small Soldiers.
Soldier's not a killer toy.
Yes,
movie.
it is. The army, they're straight up trying to kill
Yeah, but
these
it's
people.
not played as a horror movie. It's just played as...
It's Gremlins, but with toys.
Basically.
Yeah. So, basically... Oh, another thing, actually, another character who doesn't show up in this movie that I'm kind of disappointed about. No Totoro. Because Totoro was in the third one as one of Bonnie's plushies.
I think that was just as a reference.
No, that was Totoro.
Yeah, as a reference. Like,
yeah, but she's still a toy.
His entire character in the toy story is just as a reference. Like, hey, this exists.
Hey, John Lasseter is friends with Hayao Miyazaki.
What else does he do with that? Else, I just lift on things and just be there. Nothing.
Yeah, so, yeah, so there's just all this little gimmicks and funny shit that happens. So then we get to, I guess we should get to the end, like, bits.
No, we're almost there. There's a bit of conflicts because Woody is actually trying to convince Bo to take him back to the antique to help, because Bo's entire character is that she's a free toy, basically.
Yeah, she's a lost toy.
Yeah, a lost toy.
Like Neverland.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that she doesn't need to be a runner, and she can just venture off and help kids on their way.
Yeah. Oh, we forgot one character.
The little policewoman.
Kaboom.
No, we'll get to him.
Okay, well, little guy, it's just a Polly Pocket, essentially.
Yeah, basically. She's fine.
She's fine. I did like that whole scene where they go to the bar, and the first person you see at the door is Tin Toy from the first short film.
That was a good
clever.
shout out.
That was clever. I love Tin Toy. I love that guy. He was actually supposed to be the original character in the first movie. He was supposed to be...
Yeah.
They had so many ideas. But then I also love is that they go in there, and there's a couple of things, like you have one of those little Godzilla plushies that has its mouth wide open with the googly eyes. It's like, which I thought was hilarious because I think that's what they sound like. But in the corner of the bar, you see 2 Kenner Star Wars figures, which we get it, Disney. You own Lucasfilm, you own Star Wars, it's your slave, we get it. You paid good money for that. You have a little Obi-Wan Kenner figure and a Walrus Man, and he cuts his arm off, like in A New Hope. I thought that was clever. That was a fun little Easter egg. So let me get to... Kaboom. Yes, Rico, Kaboom.
The best character.
Oh my, okay, voiced by Keanu Reeves, who, basically, I'm the actor who's going to be in every fucking movie in 2019.
I am pretty sure it's been confirmed that Keanu Reeves is Jesus in the modern era.
They make Jesus starring Keanu Reeves. I would not be surprised. That would be... Get Quentin Tarantino to make a Jesus movie with Keanu Reeves as John Wick. No, Jesus 2, The Revenge. He goes after all the Romans who killed him.
Nah.
Like, remember that Smosh skit they did? Mm-hmm. If the Passion was realistic?
Nah.
Make that Quentin. So, he is amazing, and he's a great representation for Canada.
Yeah.
I even love how they play the Canadian national anthem.
Yeah, when they're trying to inspire Kaboom to do his trick, because his whole backstory is that the kid that bought him, who he has the obsession with, there's actually a recurring theme between 3 of the characters around that, is that because it's false advertisement, the commercial, that the toy doesn't actually fly as it's been advertised, he was been abandoned. So now his entire character art is to try and replicate that to redeem himself, essentially.
Yeah, so I love that, and I also love how he kind of looks like there's an old Fonzie doll that's on a bike that his thumbs up, and it looked like one of those toys. So there's that, and but yeah, we're actually almost running out of battery, so we kind of have to wrap up quickly.
Oh no.
Yeah, it's pretty good, but I think we're gonna be good. So let's get to get to kind of like the third act. So Gabby actually gets Woody's heart, essentially his voice box.
She doesn't force it. There's a bit of a fight that kind of separates the characters for a bit, but after coming to like terms, he does willingly offer his voice box to help her up, and it was for nothing.
It was for nothing. It's like
the child that she was trying to get the attention to. She gets her attention.
I'll recreate it. It's like what a great toy! It's great, beautiful. But it's like, do you want it? Oh, fuck this shit.
Yeah.
And it's like, wow, you bitch. Wow, and you're just like, you bitch. It's like, yeah, this is crap. I'm gonna go play with my DS or my Nintendo Switch.
Yeah. So throughout the rest of the film, Woody decides to kind of let Forky return back to Bonnie while he helps with Gabby find a home, and then that's the rest of the movie. It's not action-packed. It's not like the rest of the climaxes where it's like intense or action-packed or anything. It's kind of just sweet.
I just forgot one of the side gag joke storylines that I love is the unicorn voiced by Seth Rogen wants to put the dad in jail.
That is like, what in the hell is wrong with you?
Wrong? That's the thing. This movie, like, everybody has some sort of dark agenda in this movie. You got Gabby wanting to get what's inside Woody. You have this unicorn trying to get the dad in jail.
I don't understand. Anyway.
It just comes out of nowhere. You're like, what the hell's wrong with you?
So, Gabby is given to a lost girl who kind of comforts her, and she gets her happy ending with it. It's a really touching.
Oh, it hits you, because, like, this little girl's lost, and, you know, this is nice. I actually did feel a little touchy there.
No, I had tears screaming. That was just beautiful. So now we get to the big climax.
It's Return of the King when Frodo leaves, basically.
Not really. Basically, at the end of the movie, Woody decides he's going to stick with Bo Peep and be a lost toy because, well, he's been obsessed with trying to protect the children he's played with, trying to make sure that he's around to guide them. And Bo Peep actually calls him out for it. Is that really for them or is that really for you? Because you don't do anything.
It still hasn't let go of Andy. I was surprised she didn't bring him up.
Yeah.
That's like, oh, what? Like, Andy would be like, oh, you, oh.
So the last scene is basically a heartfelt goodbye between all the toys. Toys.
I lost it when Buzz hugged Woody.
Yeah.
That's where it's like, because these two were the core of the story. They were like the bros. And that's where I'm like, this is just Frodo leaving.
Yeah.
This is like, just Frodo and Sam hugging. And like, fuck it. Yeah, like, it's really... The part that also hit me when Woody takes the sheriff badge, and gives it to Jesse.
Yeah.
I'm like,
that was terrible.
Oh, that's so sad. That's so sad. So, yeah, Woody stays with Bo Peep, and the toys go their own way. And I'm surprised they didn't cut to a scene where it's like Bonnie's in the car. Where's Woody?
No.
Right? It's like, oh, now you remember. And what's really great too is the credits. They have a couple post-credit scenes in this.
Yeah, it shows like the lost toys. Woody, Bo, Duck and Rabbit just helping the toys and the carnival find kids.
Yeah, and then like you have the last scene with the Ducky and Bunny. they go like they turn into kaijus. They're breathing fire. We're just like, what is happening?
And then it's all in their imagination.
Oh, if that was the actual ending, I would have been like, that is so bonkers, batshit insane. I kind of would have loved it if that was the ending.
The last delivery killed me though. It was like, do you actually shoot laser beams from your eyes?
And like,
Google Boom? It's like, maybe. It's like, whoa.
Do you ever feel like Keanu Reeves gets sick of saying that?
Nah.
Now that, like, do you think like the studio's like, can you just say it? I was like, no, say it. No, we'll buy a new dog. Whoa. Like, who would maybe splooge? Yeah. But, yeah, I really dug the shit out of this.
This was a good movie. Honestly, all of them are good. It's just good. I just feel like if you look at it as their own separate movies with the continuing theme of before, during, and then after Andy and the motivations that he's grown up and moved on, then you got yourself a good complete set.
Here's how I can rank them so far. From best to worst, 1, 3, 4, 2. I will say this is not as good as 3, but it's surprisingly better than 2, which really shocked me. I thought it was the funniest film in the series. If this is the way they end it, it's okay. I really dug. 3 had the better ending, honestly. Like, it hit you in the balls, but this one was nice. This was like, imagine, like, put it like this. Imagine Return of the King. They have that big ending where they all leave, and then, like, you do another one, and Frodo goes to the next place and just leaves Gandalf behind. You know, it kind of felt like that. Like, so basically, was this necessary? No. But was it good?
Yes.
Yeah. Like, you know, like, but could you sit down and watch the first 3 and skip this one? You probably could, but it is worth your time if you want to see. So it's almost like, imagine you get a DVD, and you have a bonus feature with, like, an extra story.
I think my favorite parts of the film is the book end where Bo and Woody are potentially separated, where it cuts to like his hands on the cardboard, and then when it looks like Woody is about to do it again, it's in the similar fashion. I love that. I think the cinematography of this film is gorgeous. It's beautiful. The story is really good. The
Tom Hanks actually, I think, was the best actor in this. Like, he's really putting.
He's done a lot for the character.
Yeah, he's honestly he's like, to me, Tom Hanks is the Jimmy Stewart of our generation. Like, if they remade all of Hitchcock's movies with Jimmy Stewart, just get Tom Hanks.
Yeah.
And I'd be okay with that.
All right, so final verdict, I give this a solid 8 out of 10.
I'm about to say about an 8 out of 10. I had fun with it. I was laughing my ass off. This is definitely the funniest of the series. There's no way they could have top 3, so they said, fuck it, let's make it a pure comedy. And
I think in ways it did top 3, just not in, like...
Not big enough. It's not as massive.
No. And then the quieter moments and the sensitive moments in, like, character development, I think it's better than 3.
Do you think this is going to get any Oscar nods, do you think? I'd say songs.
It might get a few.
Songs, animated feature, that's about it. I don't think this is going to get a Best Picture win.
No.
There's no way, because 3 ended so good. Before we go, trailers. We got the Shark Tale 2, The Pigeoning.
Oh, right.
With Will Smith as the. It looks kind of funny.
I don't.
I mean, Blue Sky has made some decent movies. Like, I liked out of all the Ice Age movies, I like the 3rd one because it's just got fucking dinosaurs. You put dinosaurs on anything, take my money. I thought Robots was their best movie. I hated Rio. But yeah, like, this No One looks alright, although it looks just like Shark Tale, essentially. Because anything with Will Smith animated is just gonna be not good.
Yeah. Onward looks good, though.
Onward looks good. I was actually kind of thinking that, actually, because is it weird that it has the same font as Frozen?
It's basically Bright, if done better.
What? Bright? Yeah.
Right, yeah, that other bad Will Smith movie.
God. Yeah, and that's the thing, too. You notice how it has the same font as Frozen? So I wonder if this is actually, like, this is about the origins of those stone trolls.
Maybe.
It had that look. Angry Birds 2. Fuck! No! No, because it's like, this franchise has been dead for a decade. The first film was already too late. Why make another? Money. I don't understand how are you funding this?
Money.
How do you make this kind of fucking money?
Money.
The Lion King looks amazing. I really want to see that.
So that's what you're gonna drag me next to?
I don't know, maybe. I want to see that in IMAX, though. IMAX 3D shit. Like, because here's the thing. I'm not expecting good writing or anything in this film. I'm expecting a complete remake of the original. If not, probably toned down, because given the last 2 that came out with Dumbo and Aladdin, how they toned down a lot of the cool shit from the originals.
I heard a lot of bad things of Dumbo and Aladdin.
Here's my biggest pisser about Dumbo. Okay. You
don't have enough battery time.
I was very quickly. Well, I think we have time. We'll know when it starts flashing. So, Tim Burton's directing this movie.
It's red flag number 1.
No. Because I think it could work. Because what's the most iconic scene, aside from the baby mine, in Dumbo?
The pink elephant.
The pink elephants. Take that scene and combine it with Tim Burton's weird-ass shit. In 3D, it'd be amazing. Imagine stop-motion elephants today. It would be great. They don't even fucking do it! They don't do it! You had one job, Tim! One job! And that's it! I am not seeing another Tim Burton movie ever again unless he makes a 3rd Batman, then I'll give a shit. Because you have lost your touch, buddy. I'm sorry, I loved you, but you have lost your touch. Really lost your... I'm sorry, yeah, but you've lost your touch. The one thing you were supposed to do and you didn't even do it. You pussies. Aladdin. Jafar doesn't turn into a snake. Because And people said, oh, it's because it would have been too scary for the kids. The first film was scary.
Did they also give Jasmine her own separate song?
They did, and they kind of basically made her like Senator Padme.
Oh, God.
Where she's more like, a powerful leader. The thing, instead of Jafar as a snake, it's Iago as a giant Rodan.
Oh, so you're telling me the entire scene from the trailer is essentially the climax?
Yep! And Jafar is, like, wasted.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, I heard it looks nice. Like, it looks like a Broadway show, and Will Smith kind of is alright. But yeah, I haven't heard things. But Lion King is the only one I want to see because it actually, like, even if it's not a good story or good written or anything, I can at least appreciate for how good the visuals look, because it looks like they're putting more money into the visuals than the film itself.
I won't judge it for the things they change. I'll judge it how good it is at adapting from the original source. Because the only thing I do like is that the fact that James Earl Jones is back in Mufasa, and he does sound like an old king that has seen it all and done it all.
He sounds like
passed it on to his son.
He's Robert Baratheon.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's another thing too, is like, I heard a few things about this movie. They are including some songs from the musical. They're including He Lives in You.
Oh.
Which I'm like, okay. But yeah, it just looks visually nice. It looks...
I don't know how you're going to feel with realistic lions and animals, because animals don't emote enough.
Well, I'm just hoping the fight scenes actually look a bit more graphic. Go like a documentary where, like, I saw this one documentary where this lion got punched in the jaw and his jaw was completely gone. Like, his jaw was, like, loose and it was just dangling. And I'm like, I want to see that kind of shit. I want to see it, like, go walking with dinosaurs with blood and stuff.
Well, we'll see when the movie comes out.
There's rumors it might be a PG-13.
Yeah.
Which I'm okay with, because, hey, put some blood in that shit.
Alright.
Like, I'm more looking forward to the final battle. Because that final battle in the original is amazing, so to see that live action, just animals fighting.
I'm looking forward to how they do the songs.
The songs, I mean, you got Beyonce doing Can You Feel the Love Tonight, so you can't really go wrong, and she's a great singer.
She is the queen.
She is the queen. I'm surprised she's not playing Sarabi.
Nah.
Yeah, but it looks alright. But yeah, let's see what happens. I am looking forward to it. I do want to see it. I'll probably be the next opening night, actually.
Yeah, well, I'm being dragged.
Yeah, I do want to see Spider-Man.
Okay.
Okay, so maybe we'll see that. So that's it for us, guys. What are your guys' thoughts, of course, on Toy Story 4? Let us know in the comment section below. If you guys want to support the channel, link to our Patreon, $1 or more will get you more extra content as well as other features. Thank you again, Evan, for coming in. We gotta do more of these.
I'm going back to sleep.
Okay. So, until the next video, guys, like, comment, subscribe. We'll see you guys later. This is BigJackFilms signing off. I guess saying, I don't know. Yeah. I'm trying to do this right. Please stay to infinity and beyond.
I am Buzz Lightyear. I protect the galaxy from the threat of invasion. I come in peace.
Alright, this is BigJackFilms saying...
To infinity and beyond.
Perfect.
Bye.